We are being held captive by a doomsday cult. According to military.com, and this is an article from March 3rd that did not get a lot of traction, and I think it should have because it's alarming. According to military.com, Newsweek, Yahoo News, The Independent, to name a few, the Military Religious Freedom Foundation has received over 200 complaints from servicemen and women stating that high-ranking military officials have been promoting this war in Iran as a holy war. That should be disturbing to people. They've even gone as far as to say that Trump has been anointed by Jesus. Yeah. And his duty as such is to instigate Armageddon, the end of days. They think he's a Jesus figure, which I can't imagine the amount of mental parkour that has to go into that kind of philosophy. I mean, obviously, you're living in your own world at that point. Now, I know that probably most of you don't really buy into the whole Armageddon thing, but you need to understand that they do. And if the generals do, then they're reveling in it. A guy that actually said that the general was saying that with a smile on his face and enjoying the idea of how bloody the battle is going to be. That's what we should be concerned about, because we're sending our troops into harm's way. And if we're going in with the attitude that it's supposed to be extra bloody, it's supposed to be the end of times, and Trump has actually not directly said it, but he's hinted at the fact that he could just drop a nuke and end it. He said that he could end the war in Iran in a couple seconds if he wanted to. That's not a healthy attitude. I've been watching some of Fox News, and they're approaching it in their usual fifth grader mentality, where they're enjoying all the great names of all the weapons. They're actually doing little exposés on the Warthog plane and how useful it is and blah, blah, blah. They're just all on rah, rah, military, let's go to war, yay. And then, of course, goes back to feeding the cult mentality that whatever Trump says goes. And Fox News has obviously just been lying to their viewers forever. It's what they do. They are a Trump mouthpiece. MAGA doesn't stand for anything. That's a different video, but it's so true. MAGA is a word. It is not an acronym. Because it doesn't stand for anything, because the members of the cult don't stand for anything. They stand for Trump, and Trump stands for himself. And that's all there is to it. You got to also realize they started this war as a distraction from the Epstein files. I mean, it may have also been at the behest of Israel, but hasn't Netanyahu been clamoring for a war against Iran forever? He's been saying for 30 years that they were on the verge of getting a nuclear weapon. But when Joe Kent recently resigned from the counterterrorism unit, he was pretty clear in the fact they never were close to having a nuclear weapon. In fact, I saw in that interview with Tucker Carlson, he said they had made it against their religion to even try to build a nuclear weapon. Maybe they were going for nuclear power, and now the U.S. killed the guy that made that claim that securing nuclear weapons was against their religion. They killed him. They've replaced the Ayatollah with a younger, angrier Ayatollah. They're not helping the people at all. They're going after the desalination plants, so the citizens are not going to have drinking water. They're destroying all the oil facilities, natural gas facilities. So even if the war were to end tomorrow, it's still going to be a miserable next 10 years. The price of gas is going to stay up around $5 a gallon, and it's not going to budge, because they're going to have to rebuild all that infrastructure. And that's even like I say, just if they were to end the war tomorrow, which of course they're not going to, they're sending Marines over there, and they're not sending Marines over there for nothing. They're going to have boots on the ground. They're going to try to secure the Strait of Hormuz. It's a scary time to be alive, folks. It's a scary time to be alive, and I'm saying it because knowledge is power, right? I'd like to get some MAGAs to wake up. I don't know, it's a long shot. They've made this part of their identity now. It's a group. It's a community, and people like to belong. Americans like to belong to things, whether it's a bowling league, you name it, a dart league, bicycling, jogging, or end of the world themed death cult, which seems to be real popular with people these days. It all goes back, yes, to being stupid. And I know that people say, well, being in a cult doesn't make you stupid. That may be true, but this cult is not like the others, right? This one's based in hatred. It's based in bigotry and racism. So, yeah, it's stupid. It's based in stupidity. Because, and I shouldn't have to tell you this, the way to judge people is not by the color of their skin or the language that they speak. It's by how they treat you and how they treat other people. And no one's against exporting the the worst of the worst, the hardened criminals that are not citizens. We're all for that, as we are still fighting the whole ICE mentality thing. It's that they make a spectacle out of it. They send, 15 cars into a quiet neighborhood to drag an 80-year-old man out of his house. They're setting up roadblocks and pulling over people who look like they might speak Spanish. And that's not what we signed up for. That's not what anyone signed up for, or at least it shouldn't have been. Yeah, I know the racists are all about it, but try not to be like them, okay? Try not to be stupid. That's the big takeaway from it all. Stop being stupid. I think this is a theme from this channel. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and